I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am soaring. I am flying. I am being everything I can be on this day and the next. I am. Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome to your weekly S.O.A.R tarot video. And I'm going to look over here. Today is what, the 30th? And I guess I'll be through the 5th of May. Man, we're almost in May already. Wow, look, that's good. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the cards and see how you are going to soar this week. And now I realize that I have 7 cards instead of 4 cards. So, like I said, it is I am soaring. So maybe I need to come up with another acronym to see what each letter comes up with. But anyways, let's see how you are going to soar this week. Well, right off, we have the takeoff card as the Hierophant. And as you can see, we have this shaman, and he's communing with these different spirits around him. So for the takeoff card this week, it's really going to be about recognizing your own way of connecting to spirits. And the Hierophant normally speaks to traditions and churches, religions, and organized groups. But I think this week what it's really going to be speaking to is the way that you take off is establishing your own sense of tradition. Establishing, perhaps your own rituals that you do in the morning. And they don't have to be anything super extravagant. Maybe you just establish a breathing exercise. Maybe you have a nice hot cup of tea. Maybe you go for a walk in your neighborhood or wherever. But I feel like this is really establishing a ritual or tradition or something that you can do at the start of every day that really allows you to tap back into the source that's within you and help you tap back into spirit. And by establishing this practice this week, it's really going to allow you to take off. And not everyone might understand this because it might be outside the norm. Perhaps you wake up and you do yoga in the morning, or you just simply meditate. This is really about establishing your own sense of ritual, your own way of connecting, so you can begin every day on a positive foot. And you can begin every day by recentering yourself, so when you go out into the world, you're not as easily triggered by people, different situations, and you will be able to really just kind of flow throughout your day and not really feel like the victim of anything that happens to you, but more or less you kind of take that somewhat detached mood, and you're just like, well, I'm just in this beautiful story of life. I'm just kind of playing this role. But by taking the time in the first part of your day to really, develop your sense of spirituality and your sense of connection, you will be able to move throughout your day in a more positive manner. Now, the internal fears of taking off we actually have are the 5 of Pentacles. And it shows all of these different people around, but it's interesting how this is the internal card. So what I see this as is that maybe you have this fear of establishing your own way of connecting because perhaps family doesn't understand and friends don't understand, and generally maybe just your peers might not necessarily understand why you're doing it. So you might be feeling a bit spiritually bankrupt this week. There's a fear of that spiritual bankruptcy because maybe you have been doing things a certain way for such a long time, but maybe things have to shift, things have to change. We did just have a full moon in Scorpio, which was this really deep purge and let go, this powerful full moon that really healed the entire collective and affected everybody on a deep and profound way. So you might have fears this week of wondering if you really can connect to the spirit, if you really can connect to your heart, if you really can connect to God. God is the universe and source. you might be feeling a little spiritually bankrupt, okay? Now, in response to that, we have the Strength card. And I think this is the perfect way to really respond. The way to respond to this sense of spiritual bankruptcy is to have the strength to move forward anyways. It's to have the strength to be like, you know what? I woke up today. I'm here. Let's have gratitude for that. Because, yeah, there are a lot of things happening in the world. There's seemingly a lot of chaos that's happening. But at the same time, I am here, which means that I have a purpose. I have a beautiful, beautiful divine purpose. And so long as I am here, I'm breathing, I have the opportunity to bring this purpose into fruition. I have the opportunity to materialize this purpose. So this is really going to be a week of having the strength to just keep following your faith, to keep one foot in front of the other. This is going to be a week of, you know, you might hear some voices coming from the outside, but like I said, this is the internal card. So you might have internalized these different beliefs that other people have been, you know, instilled in you in society, but you also adopt these beliefs. So it's not completely the outside. You chose to adopt these beliefs, but the Hierophant is speaking to here, at least what I'm channeling, is develop your own belief structure that is more aligned with your higher self, that's more aligned with your passion and your joy. You don't have to listen to all of these other voices with the Five of Pentacles making you feel spiritually bankrupt. You can actually have the strength to respond to this fear to continue to move forward anyways. Now, the internal influences that we have, the internal support we actually have is the Five of Bows or the Five of Swords. I want you to kind of look at this card a little bit more closely. These people can't see what he sees. And really, I liken this card to waking up from a bad dream. There's going to be this sense this week where you wake up from a bad dream, or you see things that other people don't see, and it might scare you. The Five of Bows and the Five of Swords, Four of Bows, excuse me, the Four of Swords typically speaks to rest. It typically speaks to this need to kind of just relax a bit and to kind of just, you know, allow yourself to, you know, you might even be, this energy, the Four of Swords, I kind of almost liken it a bit to depression. But when you depress, it's really a deep state of rest. So I'm not saying that you're going to feel depressed this week. What I'm saying is that you're going to kind of wake up from this bad dream where you've had a certain way of doing things and these certain belief structures, but you're going to probably start to realize that these beliefs are self-limiting, and we all have self-limiting beliefs. So this week, there might be this purge, probably based off of the full moon that just happened. And since it was opposing the sun in Taurus, which is talking about self-value and self-worth, you're going to probably discover these self-limiting beliefs that have held you back. And now you're going to have this influence, this desire, this deep intuition to kind of wake up from these bad dreams, to wake up from these self-limiting beliefs that hold you back and that keep you locked in, that keep you from expressing your joy and your passion, okay? And the external influences that's going to come to your aid, I think, is beautiful. We actually have the Knight of Drums, or the Knight of Pentacles. And I really actually see this as a person. It's interesting how we have this warrior, and she's riding on top of the white bull. So this really actually could be a Taurus. But also this could be just signaling to the fact that the sun is in Taurus. So maybe this is what's coming in this week is this deepening sense of self-worth. This deepening sense of self-value. Perhaps this is an earth card. This could literally be like maybe you are given a gift by someone. Or perhaps you discover another aspect of yourself that comes to your aid in a way that accentuates your deepening sense of self-worth and deepens your accentuating sense of self-value. But this also, since it's a court card, it could also be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn coming to your aid this week to almost shake you from this bad dream. Because with the Hierophant card being the liftoff card, there's going to be this sense that it's going to be a very spiritual week to start off with. So if you're putting out this vibration of really wanting to establish your own craft and wanting to establish your own system and way of connecting to spirit, you go through the progression of taking out these self-limiting beliefs that no longer work. What you want to do is be like, thank you, blank or self-limiting belief for serving me during this time and for keeping me safe during this time, but I no longer require you. I must move on to the next stage. And you want to have to find the strength within you to move to that next stage and to wake up from this bad dream. So when you wake up from this bad dream, there's going to be someone or something that comes to your aid this week. I can almost see this as like one of your guides this week. Since this is the Hierophant card, this very well could be one of your spirit guides. So this week, you really want to open up to this. You want to open up to the possibilities, the infinite possibilities, right? I think sometimes we get caught up in a certain way of being, traditions, an order, and a system. But I think what we're all discovering is that we're all unique individuals. We're all in this together, but we're all unique, creative, energetic beings. And we all have our own way of connecting. And a lot of us have outsourced our way of connecting to various groups and churches and stuff like that. And not so much that these groups and these churches and these organized sects of people are per se bad. It's not necessarily that they're bad, but now we're starting to learn that we have our own unique, personalized way of connecting. And once we begin to connect more and more to that, I've said in past videos that the synchronicities that we get from the universe, God, Goddess, and Spirit, and Source, they become very, very particular and fine-tuned and really tailored to who we are. So this could also come in the way of synchronicities that you are on the right path, okay? Now, what we're going to kind of relax into this week is we actually have the Ace of Drums, and it's in reverse, but I don't want you to see this as a per se bad thing. I think this is really just kind of us rediscovering our rhythm and rediscovering our beat. And the reason why I feel like it's reversed is because we're a little unfamiliar with it. But there's going to be this deep sense that is like, oh, this feels right though. But since we have been practicing a certain rhythm and a certain beat for such a long time, practicing someone else's beat, practicing someone else's rhythm for such a long time, we had to relearn our own way. We had to relearn our own beat. We had to relearn our own value in a way. Because it's the suit of pentacles. So it does talk about money, self-worth, value, materialism in a way. So what's going to happen this week is that we're going to relax back into our own beats, our own rhythm, We're not really going to be following the crowd so much anymore. We're going to be going back within our own heart, going back within our own vessel and our own, soul, and rediscovering what is it that makes us tick along. What is it that really makes us laugh? What is it that really makes us, smile, have that joy, that passion? You very well might discover a new passion this week that really ignites your spirit in a way that's just like, wow, I really, really want to pursue this. I really want to push this forward. Or perhaps based off of whatever practice that you implement this week, by the end of the week, because this is going to be technically today's Monday, so this is going to be the Saturday card, right? Since it's like pretty much one card for every day of the week. So by Saturday, you're going to really feel this deeper connection to your own value, in which you really were infinite beings, So, and then the resulting card of all this is we actually have the full card in reverse. I think it's great how the 6th card and the 7th card, so Saturday and Sunday, the cards are both reversed. And this is speaking of not necessarily diving into anything foolishly. This is speaking of, do you have the strength to really be your unique self despite what anyone else says? Because we have this side of cards, which is the internal aspects or the feminine aspects, and then we have the external or masculine aspect. So the fact that we have the full card in the masculine aspect is signaling to this potentiality of other people being like, oh, you're foolish for trying to do that. Oh, you're foolish for trying to be that. Or, no, you can't do that. You need to adopt another way. You need to adopt our way. But you have your own path. You have your own adventure. So do not allow other people to really tell you who you are this week. Do not allow other people to tell you who you are to become this week. Do not let other people try and brainwash you and put you in this box and try and define you, because anything that you define ceases to exist because you boxed it up, and then everything outside of it is not inclusive within the parameter of that definition. So people this week might try to define you, and that's based off of their own self-limiting beliefs. That's based off of their own, this mental paradigm that they're in, that we have to be a certain way. People might try and normalize you this week. You're not normal. Nobody is normal. Normal is an illusion. Normal is a farce. Normal does not exist. Okay? There's no such thing as normal. But people might try and tell you this week that you are normal. Get real. Come back down to earth. And it's funny because the sun is in Taurus, so it's a very grounding time. But you came here to really express your joy, express the creativity and the innovative ingenuity that is you. So do that. Be the fool this week, irregardless of what anyone might say. Go to the rhythm of your own beats this week and really begin to fine-tune your own ritual and fine-tune your own religion, in a sense, which is not really a religion. It's more of like a me-religion, or it's like just your own way of connecting. So fine-tune that. And then you will see that by the end of the week, you'll have this renewed sense of spirit. You'll have this renewed sense of faith and trust in the universe, and that everything is working out in your favor. And that is your weekly soaring tarot video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below to the Aquarian Adepts. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.